B on the top, few lines down, the beginning at the Mishnah. So we know there's an isur to take medicine on Shabbat. Gzeirah, the people might come to grind all sorts of different herbs and medicines, herbs that created medicines in those days. Therefore, you're not allowed to take medicine normally, unless obviously the person is quite sick. But right now, the Mishnah delineates a few different things that a person may not take or could take. Ein ochlin ezov yom b'Shabbat. Ezov yom comes from the word ezov, which is hyssop. We know there are 3 halachot in the Torah that deal with this little plant, ezov, by the purification of the mitzorah, by the purification of someone who's tamei from a met, and by Yetziat Mitzrayim, that you have to paint the lintels, right? Lintels with the hyssop. So there's some sort of medicinal, we'll see soon exactly what it is. Some say it's actually lavender, but it comes from this hyssop bush. It's called ezovyon. We'll see if it's the one from the Torah and the Gemara or not. You can't eat that on Shabbat. It's not something that normally healthy people eat. So when someone sees you eating it, it's obvious that you're taking it for curative purposes, and therefore it's asur. But a person could take yoezer and drink abuv ro'eh. So we'll see soon what these are in the Gemara. But since many people take these as well, not only sick people for medicinal purposes, therefore you could take it. A person could eat any food for healing. Because why? Why can you drink anything and eat anything? Because normal foods, since healthy people eat them, so it doesn't look like you're doing it for medicine. Chutz mimei dekalim, except for mei dekalim. Mei dekalim is the water of palm trees. We'll talk about it soon in the Gemara. And it was made for constipation, and since normally healthy people wouldn't drink it, therefore you can't take it. The kos ikarin means ikar. Ikar means they took roots, the roots of different herbs, extracts of different roots, and they would put it into the wine or beer as a side effect. It would also sometimes cause a person to become sterile, and therefore it was called kos ikarin. Ikarin has a double-edged sword. It means ikar, the roots, and ikarin, it makes the person sterile. Now, how you let it drink something that makes you sterile should be allowed. The Gemara is going to ask and speak about it. Now, why can't you take this? Because they are for yiroka. Yiroka means green, it means jaundice. And therefore, healthy people did not usually take this. Okay? This last one. But you could drink palm tree water for your thirst. If you're not sick, Rashi says if you're not sick. It sounds like if you're sick, you can't take even to quench your thirst. Because it's clear that if you're sick, then you're doing it for medicinal purposes, because normally it wasn't drunk by healthy people. So a healthy person could drink it if he's thirsty. And he can also anoint himself, smear himself with oils that have these roots, because it's not for healing. It was a normal process people did to make them to make their skin soft. Okay, so what is the Ezov Yon in our Mishnah that it started off with Ein Ochlin Ezov Yon b'Shabbat, because it's clearly being taken as a medicine. Amar Rav Yosef, Ezov abarta baramag. The Azov of the Torah is the Azov that's Bar Hamag. Ezevion abarta baring. But the Azovion is the abarta barhing. Is the Azov, the Hissip of Hing. Basically, he's identifying two different types of Azovs that grow out there. And he's telling you which one is the one in the Torah, that the Torah is talking about when you use for the Mitzorah, when you use for Tumat Met, and you dip it into the Meichatat, the Efer Para, and then you sprinkle it on a person to become purified. That's the one that's called Bar Hamag. Okay? Hamag means Gemi, because it grows amongst the grasses, the reeds. But the Hing, that's the one that our Mishnah is speaking about over here, which is medicinal. That's the one called Hing, that grows amongst the Higim, which are the thorn bushes. That is not the one that you use for the Torah. That is the one that's Asur because it is medicinal. So Ula Omar, Ula says, Marva Chivra. Marva Chivra, they translate over here, Rashi says, Shluya, Shalyu, Belaz, in Old French. They say it means white sage. White sage, that's the one in the Torah. Ula Ikla Lebei Rav Shmuel Bar Yehuda, Ula visited Shmuel Bar Yehuda's home. Aisu the Kamei Marva Chivra. And they brought him white sage. Hainu Ezov the Chtiv Be'oraita. That is the Ezov that's written in the Torah. Rav Papi Amar Shumshuk. That the one that's written in the Torah is actually Shumshuk. I don't know what that is. They say the Aruch HaShulchan says, he translates that as marjoram. It's a certain, I guess, an herb. That's the one in the Torah. Omer Rav Yirmiyah Midifti. You can look it up today if you have an encyclopedia. I'm just kidding. On your phone. Okay. The marjoram. Oh wow! But you want to see it the way it is in the Torah. They have to use it not when it turns spice, when it's still a bush to be able to dip it in. So you can look up lavender. That's one shita. No, that's the one that's in the Mishnah. The one that's medicinal. So you want to see the one that we use in the Torah. So it's machlokes Rabbi Yosef, Ula, and Rav Papi. Rabbi Yosef said it's what they call it in English. You can look it up. The hyssop, the one that grows in the Gemi reed grasses. I don't know if you'll be able to find that one. Ula says it's white sage. Look at that plant, the way it looks. And Rav Papi says it's marjoram. Omer Rav Yirmiyah Midifti. Yeah, so maybe the Svardim, they cook with it, no? Marjoram? Yeah, they do? Yeah, you know what it looks like, smells like? Yeah.
I know that not the actual plant comes in as a spice.
Oh, really? Okay, shumshuk. Omer Rav Yirmiyah Midifti. Kavatei de Rav Papi mistabra. It's more mistaber like Rav Papi. The Tanan, that it's this marjoram, this shumshuk. Mitzvah of shlosha klachin uvehen shlosha givolin. Because the Mishnah says the mitzvah of Ezov needs 3 stems, and on each stem there's shlosha givolin, there's 3 stalks coming out. The shumshuk and shumshuk, hu de mishtach. It's the only one of these herbs of Rabbi Yosef that said this one that grows in the thing, or Rav Ula that said white sage, or Rav Papi. The only one that's found like that is Rav Papi's. That you'll find 3 little capsules coming out of each stem. Like Hadassim has 3, yeah, exactly. So you'll find, so look it up, see. Yeah, the marjoram looks like that when it grows. Let's see. Looks a little like Hadassim. You want to show us?
It looks like maybe more than 3, like 4.
But maybe 4 is not a problem. It means at least 3. But the other one's the white sage.
That thing, 1, 2, 3.
Oh, wow. But this is what they use. Wow.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, this is a bunch.
It's marjoram.
Yeah.
Hey, look. Beautiful. Ah. Thank you. Okay. So the Gemara says, L'maya achilei. Okay, now let's go back to the other one. The one of the Mishnah is called Ezov Yon. That's different. That one grows by the thorn bushes. So what's this? What do they use it for? Why is it medicinal? I'm just going to wait for him for a second because he's turning off the noise. Darabah. So why is it medicinal? The Maya achile likukyani, for intestinal worms. You can make a new business now. It's very popular now with the pinworms. They have the garlic thing. They have the other medicine. And you make one up. You can make one from kukyani. For the kukyani, you take this Ezov Yon, you drink it, or you eat it. But my achile. So what do you eat it with? Bishvat tamre uchmisa, with 7 black dates. And we might have you. Why does a person get intestinal worms? Mikimcha desari comes from eating barley flour. The cholif alei arboin yoimin, which is 40 days old. So if you've ground it already 40 days before, you could get intestinal worms from this. The truth is, they give a very beautiful akdama here, that you eat it with 7 black dates, all these things. A lot of these things, today, they're not consistent with what science knows today. So there's many terutzim to this. The Rashba says, first of all, that some of the things that Hashem created are understood by people, by science, and some of them are not. They're just not going to be comprehended by science at all. They're beyond our understanding. Others say also that the Mashal says in Gittin that when the Gemara brings down cures for different things, it's only there for people who who are able to plumb the depths of the secrets of the Gemara, to know what the Gemara really means, to know how to take it. And besides that, many of the things that the Gemara is going to say can't even be identified properly. About this, maybe that. Then they bring down the Likut Maril, and Rabbi Kiva Eger brings it down, that you're not allowed to try these interesting types of remedies. That we're going to see soon some really weird things, like it doesn't make sense at all. It's not like this might not be, I don't know if the Gemara, they're talking about this. Like this is saying Ezov Yon is good for intestinal worms. That might work. But maybe with 7 black dates, I don't know. Is that like a skula, or is that like, it's good? 7. So it sounds interesting. They say that you're not allowed to even try these remedies nowadays, since today it's unlikely that anybody could really fathom the intentions, the kavanot of the Gemara. And therefore, if you find that it won't work for you, you're going to start saying, these Gemarot, they're cute. That's what people are going to say, chas v'shalom. And every word is kodesh kadashim here. The Yam Shel Shlomo says that if a person tries these types of things, I'm not sure which ones, by the way. It could be some of them you could. But for sure the ones that we're going to get to soon, they're really weird things. They don't sound like they make any sense. If you try them, you're chayev cherem. Because you're going to end up showing the world that the Gemara doesn't really sense.
Does it apply to the Rambam's Tochot Mada also?
What? The what?
Does this rule apply to Rambam's advice on health?
Oh, I don't think so. The Rambam's advice on health, because the Rambam is a Rishon, he's coming. Yeah, no, I don't think so. Now, what about things that even in the... By the way, today I heard now the Rambam's in vogue. That's now the thing. The Rambam diet, all the doctors suddenly, a lot of doctors, even the Goyim, they're all respecting it now. But yeah, it's very popular. The Rambam's diet. Extremely now, everybody realized. I heard Rabbi Yaakov Kamenetsky also told somebody, if you follow the Rambam's diet to the T, you'll see. The Rambam guarantees it, and he's much later. Now, I don't know. And then they bring the other famous thing that everybody says. Tosfos in Moed Katan says, and many people bring it, that today nishtanu hatvoyim, things that were able to affect things in those days, the teva changed. So, first of all, could be you are getting it right, but the reason why it didn't help you is because the nature changed. In those days, that it helped. They used to drink, they used to eat the pearls, no? Like grind up pearls for certain things. It was mamish today. It's like a dangerous thing to take. Many things. And bloodletting. Science doesn't believe in bloodletting today, right?
Some people do.
Some people still do it?
Yeah.
But bloodletting is every masechet has many cases of bloodletting. It's all over Shas. It was the most common practice when you could do it, when not. It was like the most healthy thing to do. Today,
They say donating blood is healthy.
they say donating blood is healthy. But that wasn't just donating a little blood. That was like a whole procedure that a person got very, very weak.
Did you know that leeches go on there?
Leeches. I heard that for certain infections they still do it.
Yeah.
I read an article once. They put the leeches on and it's been very helpful. But certain types, the bankis in Yiddish, with these hot cups and these, right? They don't do that today.
Masaftos do that.
Who?
Masaftot.
Really?
Yeah, Masaftos are one of the used to do it last used to get a little sick and like that.
With hot cups?
Hot cups, the fire, and suction.
They should do it to you?
Monkey, yeah.
Wow. She was from where? From Abish, from Russia.
Okay.
Wow. Very interesting. Okay, anyways. Okay, let's continue now. So the Gemara says, Aval ochalu et yo'ezer, but the Mishnah said you're allowed to eat yo'ezer. What is yo'ezer? My yo'ezer. Potnak. Rashi says, Bilaz pul al. In Old French. In English, they translate it as penny, what?
Menta?
Why menta? Pul al.
It says here in Menta.
Oh, it says that? Is that pennyroyal? Is mint pennyroyal? I don't know what pennyroyal is. Mint. You could eat that. Worms in the liver. Tapeworm, liver fluke. But since healthy people also eat it, so you can eat it too. How do you eat it to make yourself cured? With 7 white dates. Now, it's very interesting. So you're allowed to eat it. Why? Because healthy people eat it too. But now you're eating it with 7 white dates. Healthy people eat it together with 7 white dates. It sounds like it. So the teretz is that. So now why doesn't it look like this person's sick? So why doesn't it look like he's taking it for medicine? So maybe, I don't know. It's a teretz because people eat white dates and people eat this. So I'm eating both of them. So it's not enough to say that for sure.
Unless he's eating seven white dates.
No, he's eating 7 dates. It says to eat.
Because people eat dates and...
Oh, so maybe you're not allowed to eat with 7 dates. It's just saying that what do you eat it with? You eat it with 7 white dates. One second. So this guy's eating it on Shabbat to get better. But he's not going to get better unless he takes the 7 white dates. So he's eating it with the 7 white dates? So then why doesn't it look like he's eating it for medicine? I don't know. Is the answer because each thing individually is eaten by healthy people and therefore we don't even care that now that you put them together it looks like you're eating for medicine? But why not? Why wouldn't we care? Now it looks like it's a medicinal act. So, not sure. Okay. Says the Gemara, "My have you? How does a person get worms in his liver? If he eats raw meat and he drinks water on an empty stomach." Rashi says, so umtza doesn't just mean you don't eat raw meat. It means raw meat, even though people did. He says, but it was on the barbecue.
On the barbecue? Oh, like medium or rare?
I guess. I don't know. Rashi says it was broiled on the coals.
So, like Argentinian grill.
It was this. What? Yeah, that's what they do?
Yeah, they usually actually it's Eva.
That's how they eat it in Argentina. In Holland also, in those parts. I once went. The shochet, I was staying in his house and he gave us a roast. It was just put in the oven, made hot. All the juices, and it was not rare. It was like raw. The outside was a little rare.
Yeah, that's what they do. They crusty outside,
And they eat.
that's how you know how to eat. Kacha, when they come
Yeah.
and they give you like a whole vart, and
Whole word. And they say that ours is like totally
you guys don't know what it tastes like with a lot of you eat like that.
right. So that's maybe what this is. But if you do that and you drink water on an empty stomach, so a person can get this tapeworm.
Both of them, or beyachad, or if you did this, or any of that.
I think it means together, but I don't know. When we we're eating fatty meat on an empty stomach. When we or eating the basar of a ox on an empty stomach, or a nut on an empty stomach, or stems of fenugreek on an empty stomach, and then drinking water after any of these foods. So there's a whole bunch of foods that you shouldn't eat on an empty stomach and then drinking water afterwards. Okay. And let's say you don't have this yoezer, this minta, this pennyroyal, putnak, to help you when you have these liver, when the person has, chas v'shalom, worms in his liver, livla tachli chivarta. He should swallow white tachli. Rashi says tachli is a shachlayim, cress. I don't know what cress is. It's some sort of bean or something. Yeah? You know what cress is? Or some sort of grass or herb or something.
Watercress.
Watercress. It's a plant, right? The iloy leisi v'taniso. If he doesn't have that, he should fast. The leisi biser shano. And they should bring the fatty meat. The lishti agumri. Throw it on the barbecue, the coals. The limitz garmo, then he should suck the juice of a bone or a piece of the meat. The lig machala, and sip a little vinegar. The ikadam michala loy. Some say don't take the vinegar, mishum the kosher the kavda, because that's harmful to the liver. The iloy, if not, leisi guda de asinto, they should bring the bark of a bush. The gridim iloy lisatoy, that they peeled off downwards, but not peeled off upwards. Because then the worms could come out through his mouth, which means the worms are going to come out in the same direction that the bark was peeled off. Okay? The lishki, the lishluka b'shivvi, then they should boil that bark in beer at either shivi means a house of his neighbors, because the harm, it's going to smell so bad, or it means shivi means at twilight. The limcher niskerinan lin kaven didei. The next day, close the guy's nostrils. Okay, so he doesn't smell this terrible smell. And Rashi brings another pshat that it means that it should stay inside of him. The lishti, you should drink it. V'chi mifni, when he relieves himself, mifni apshicha de dikla. He should relieve himself onto the stripped part of the tree. Wherever you took that bark off, that's where he should relieve himself. So you see, these things are very hard to understand, right? These are things that you have to know the secrets. B'shoisin avubra, you're allowed to also drink avubra. The Mishnah said, what is it? My avubra, chum terayo, my chum terayo, chutri chido. Chutr means like a stick, a branch, yichidah. It's alone. Now, what does that mean? So Rashi says, Eitz hagodol yichidi b'lo onof. A branch that grows without any,
A tree that grows without branches?
Yeah. A branchless tree. Okay. And then you drink it. They would, I guess, put it into some water, and then they would drink this. The Maya of Dila. So now I guess this was also drunk by people that were healthy. But what was it for? What did it help for? So the Gemara says, Ligiluya, if someone drank water that was left uncovered, so the Gemara says that you're not allowed to drink such water because you have to worry that maybe a snake could inject some of its venom inside, and it's dangerous. So that's what you do to help yourself. If you don't have it, clearly bring 5 roses, 5 cups of beer, boil them together, the 5 roses with the beer, until there is an anpak of this potion. You should drink that. What's an anpak? A quarter of a log, which is revius. Okay. The mother of Rav Achtavoy Barami of the Leilahav, who gavro chad klila, the chad kusta de shikha. She took 1 rose and 1 cup of beer and boiled them together. Sholka ve'ishkite. She boiled them. She gave it to him. V'shoga tanura. Then she lit up an oven. Ugrafte. She shoveled it out. Meaning she shoveled out all the coal so it should cool off. And she put a brick inside it so that he could sit down and not burn himself. And the poison came out of him in a stream. It was so green and so straight that it came out like a green leaf of a palm branch. Like a greenish liquid just spewed right out of it. Rav Avia Omar, the vias of the chalav me'izah chivarta. You should drink a quarter of a log of milk from a white goat. By the way, I read an amazing article in one of these, there's a family in Muncie that has this white goat. They have these goats, and they spray directly into you. You drink straight from the goat. It's amazing how many people have been cured immediately, within like a few minutes, from all sorts of ailments and everything. And they have a whole business. And it's not a joke. It's not like they could spray it right onto your problems, eczema and this and that. It is amazing. Wow, okay. Rav Avia, Rav Huna bar Yehuda Omer, Laise Esrog Chalisa, V'lechaike, V'lemili Duvsho. Bring a sweet esrog. Okay, the Taimani esrogim are sweet. Carve out a hole in it. Fill it in with honey. Put it near the coals of a fire, so it's cooked in the honey. And then eat it. 40-day-old urine. Some say a baby that's 40 days old, his urine. Some say it's 40-day-old urine. Bazdina lizibura. Drink a bazdina of it for a wasp sting, which is an eighth of a revius, I think. I think it's a 1/32nd of a log. It's a very small cup of it. For the wasp sting. Reveal the akrab, drink revius for a scorpion sting. Palgare vilegula, half a log, which is 3 eggs of it, if you drank uncovered water. Riva afil l'chvashim alu. And a whole log could even work against sorcery, against witchcraft. Okay? Fine. Amr Rabbi Yochanan, anigroin, ve'avangar, ve'teyoka, me'alu bein legiluya, bein lekshafim. All these 3 things help whether if you drank uncovered water or witchcraft. What are these? Water that spinach beets were boiled. Okay? Ve'avangar, water which bingeri was boiled. What's bingeri? Type of herb. And tiyaka is balsam. Fine. What happens if chas v'shalom a person swallows a snake? How do you swallow a snake? I don't know. Maybe a small snake, whatever it is. Haiman de bolachiv, if a person swallows a snake, luchlek shusta b'milcha. Feed him hops with salt. Belirete tlosa mili, make him run 3 meals. Rav Shimi Barashi chazelahu gavro de bolachivyo. Rav Shimi Barashi saw a person who swallowed a snake. Idmile kifarasha, oichlik shusta b'milcha. Now, what he did was, Rav Shimon bar Ashi knew that the only way to get this person to listen to him is if he disguised himself like a big, powerful, scary, aggressive person. So he looked like a horseman. He dressed himself up and he fed him. He said, "Eat this. Eat the hops with salt. And he made him run in front of him for 3 mills. And the snake came out of him pieces by pieces." Okay? So Rashi says over here, "Guvi guvi." That they weaken him and they make his temperature go up, and that way the snake dies inside him. Ikadamri, another version of Shimon bar Ashi Balachivya, he himself swallowed the snake. Also Eliyahu Navi came and appeared to him as a horseman. He gave him the hops with the salt, made him run 3 mills, it came out in pieces. If someone was bitten by a snake, he should get an embryo of a white donkey, tear it open, put it on the bite. Only if the donkey was not found to be a treifa. Hahu bar kosher de Pumbedisa. There was an officer of the king from Pumbedisa, and he was a Jew. He was the ruler of the city. The Tarke Chivya, he was bitten by a snake. And there were 13 white donkeys in Pumbedisa. Karinu lekulu. They tore all of them open. V'ishtachu treifa. They were all treifas. But there was one other donkey on the other side of Pumbedisa. But by the time they went and brought it, a lion ate it. So this person had very bad luck. I mean, mazal, right? 13 that were on his side, they were all treif. The one that was good, by the time they got to it, was right then, a lion ate it. Maybe he was bitten by the snake of the Rabbanan, the letle asuta, which has no remedy. There's no cure. Someone who breaches the fence of the Chachamim, that's what the Gemara is explaining, will be bitten by a snake. So therefore, there's no way that you're going to get out of this one. Even if you're going to be healed by this one, you'll be killed by another thing or by some other means. Because the person deserves heavenly retribution for being over on an Issa D'Rabbanan. Now, how did Tosfos says here? How did Abaye know? People could get bitten by all sorts of by snake bites, even if he's not over on an Issa D'Rabbanan. So he says, it's because it was so interesting to Abaye. Sharafu ha'isam mizumenes, Tosfos says, v'nevda mimenu b'mazal ru'ah ka'am d'lesei asuta. Obviously, it was such a strange occurrence that he had everything at his disposal and nothing worked. These 13 were treif. That one's good and it was eaten by a lion suddenly right now. Obviously, Abaye understood that he's not going to be cured. And this is because he went against the Chacham. Omrulei. So they said, in Rabbi, yes, Rabbi, the chinoch nafshe de Rav. Because when Rav died, Gozer of Yitzchak Babisna, the lekal emiti also v'gidmi le'heilulu b'tavla. Rabbi Yitzchak Babisna made a decree, Rav was the Gadol Ador, that no one's allowed to bring myrtle, right? That's hadassim and palm branches, which was the custom to bring to a chatuna wedding, together with the bells. The ozal iu amti also v'gidmi le'heilulu. He didn't care, this officer. He brought it with the bells, the myrtle branches, the palm branches. Take chivyumis. The snake bit him and he died. Abaye, of course, was right, and the Rabbeinu Yoina in Shari Tshuva says that the reason why, that he says many avirot in the Torah, a person could get punished by makot, yisurim, some of them even have death penalty. But the Rabbanan, goret, poretz geder, Yishchenu Nachashi always has death. Why? Isur de Rabbanan, if a person breaches it, death. Because he says that if a person is over on a Doraita, his overall performance, his overall respect and Yirat Shemayim of the Torah is fine. He had a lapse. He fell one time. Something happened. Okay. But generally, if a person's over on Isur de Rabbanan, it's because he says, it's only the Rabbanan. It's not such a big deal. Ooh, that's much worse. So that type of person that's over on Isur de Rabbanan, that deserves, that he has to die for sure. Hayman de Karche Chivyo, Lichot Lemaya. If a person is Chas v'Shalom surrounded by a snake, you should go down to the water, the Lischov de Kula Aresha. Put the basket over the head of the snake, and push it away from him. And when the snake climbs up into the basket, throw it into the water, then get out of the water and run. So the Gemara says here. Okay? I think it says to invert the basket also. And try to lure the snake into the basket. And Rashi says here, if you try to take it off with your hand, or to remove it, it's going to get angry and it'll bite you. So what you want to do is just fool it to go into the basket. The second gets in, just throw the basket. If a person starts up with a snake is mad. So there's two pshatim here. Fine. The snake is basically looking for him, and he's smelling him, and he's pursuing him. If you have a friend next to you, jump on your friend's back and let him walk with you 4 amot. That way you are, he's trying to trace your tracks, smelling your feet. But basically, the trail ends, right? The dead, what are they called? Dead trail. Dead end. But the trail ends, like the scent ends, right? The ilah want to break the track of your footsteps. The ilah, if you don't have a friend with you, lishvar nigra, jump over a ditch of water. Or take a large step. The ilah, if you can't do that, le'aver nahara, cross a river. Uvilelia, loisir lefuya abo chavisa. At night, put your bed on top of 4 barrels. Get it off the ground. Okay? The nigvi ve'koichva, sleep under the stars. The leisi abo shunri, bring 4 cats. The lisrinu ba'arbo kara defurye, tie them to the legs of your bed. The laisi shachvi, bring twigs. Velishti hasam, put them on the floor around your bed. The chishama koli, so when the cats hear the sound of the snake, ochlile, they're going to go and eat it. Okay. If a lady was seen by a snake, he doesn't know, she doesn't know if he has his mind on her, to be mizana with her or not. Tishalach mono, v'nishtei kamei, what she should do is take off her clothing, throw it in front of the snake. Imikich behu, daiti leva. If he wraps himself in the clothing, that means that the mind of the snake is on her. The iloi, lo yoev daiti leva. If not, if he ignores it, then he hasn't set his mind on her. Mai takanta. What should she do if it did? Tishamish kamei. She should have tashmish with her husband in front of it. So Rashi says, how does that help? V'tiskane b'fonov. She'll become disgusting for him. Ike de Amri, others say, Koshkin Tafel. That's worse. Then he'll have more desire. Elatishkol mimazdio mitufra. She should take some of her hair and nails. V'tish tibei, and she should throw it at it. V'temo. Dishtina ano. She should say, I'm an nida. Right? And Rashi says, you're not really talking to the snake. The snake doesn't understand you. Rashi says, Derech noshim li, v'lachash be'almhu. Just an incantation. We won't understand it. Some of you do it to malachim, who knows? A lady who a snake enter her, lifsa, she should part her legs, v'lotva atati chavita. She should sit on 2 barrels. V'laiti bisra shmeina. Bring fatty meat for lishtei agumre. Throw it on the burning coals. So there should be a nice smell. V'leiti agana de tachli. Bring a basket of this cress. V'chamre reischono. And good smelling fragrant wine. V'lotvu hatam. And put them there. On the ground under where she's sitting. V'leturkina bahadi adodi. Mix the wine and the cress together. Should have a great smell. V'linko tzvata bidah. She should hold a pair of tongs in her hand. So when the snake smells all that smell, nothing he'll leave her, come out of her legs. The likle benura, she'll be able to grab the snake with her tongues and burn it in the fire. Because if she doesn't do it will come back to her. Okay, so then the Mishnah said, all the foods you're allowed to eat, and all the drinks you're allowed to drink. So what's the riba here? We had this in brachas. You're allowed to eat spleen if you want to cure your teeth. And kashinin livnei me'ayim. You're allowed to eat kashin is some sort of legume, vetch. I don't know what that is exactly. You know what that is? Or some say it's leeks for your intestines. So what's the chiddush here? The chiddush is that even though the Gemara says that this one is good for your intestines, but it's bad for your teeth. This one's good for your teeth, but it's bad for your intestines. Still, since it's bad for something, so everybody should know that what you're doing and why you're taking that, it's bad for the other thing. It's obviously, problem is I have a tooth problem, the person says, so too bad on the side effects. I need to take care of this problem. So we see it as medicine. So maybe it should be problematic. So the chiddush is, you can even eat these, since sometimes healthy people, even though there's side effects, they eat these things anyways. Therefore, you could eat it. Kol mashkin, all the mashkin, it's coming to include kol, all of them. Lasu yemay tzlofim b'choymitz. If you have water that you had capers that were soaked in them, you could drink this together with vinegar. Because healthy people also used to drink such a concoction. But it's good for your teeth, maybe. And you could drink it on, what are capers, by the way?
Small green things.
That's the thing, that's what we had. The tzlaf, the sugi that we had in, capers. Okay. Now, are you allowed to try this? If you have a toothache? Or you're not allowed to try this? Not sure. Ravina said to Rava, now, we already learned that sometimes drinking meraglayim helps for different things. Right? Omalei told him, Tanino, we learned in a Mishnah, all drinks, all beverages, but beverages does not include meraglayim, because people don't drink that normally, and therefore you're not allowed to drink that on Shabbat, because it's obviously being done for medicine. Chutzmi made the kolim, and the Mishnah said, besides water that comes from the palm juice, what is that? Tona chutzmi made the kolim, but in the Bryce it said not the kolim, it made the korim. Deker means to pierce. What is a pierce? Now we're going to see that this means a certain type of Egyptian beer. This made the karim. Man the Tana made the karim shem doikeris hamara, because this beer from Egypt, which we're going to call zaytom later on, it pierces the bad stuff, the really bile of the bladder, the gallbladder. Uman the made the kolim shiyotzim min shnei diklei. It's called the kolim because it comes out of two palm trees. My made the kolim. What is that? Omer Rabbi Bar Bruno, tarti tloi ike b'marova. There are two tloi, certain types of trees from the palm trees, that are in Eretz Yisrael. There's a spring of water that comes from between them. Kostel kam, if you take 1 cup of water that flows in between these two tloi trees, mirape, that's very medicinal. And it loosens a person's bowels if he has constipation. Idoch, if you take a second cup, mishalshal, it totally cleanses the guy out. He purges him. He has diarrhea. Idoch, if he takes a third, the third cup comes out as clear as when it went in, because there's nothing left in his intestines. I drank Sheikhar, beer, the Bavloi of Babylonia. And it was more effective than that trick of the water of the palm trees. That's only if you haven't become used to it for the last 40 days. If Yosef Omar, Zeisina Mitzri, what's made the karim? Made the karim, Zetom Amitzri. Rashi says that Rav Yosef is coming. Who made the karim? The first wide line. Because they pierced the sickness. So what is it? How do you make this Egyptian beer? It's tilta sari. A third of it is barley. The tilta kurtumi, a third of it is saffron, right? The Sfardim cook a lot with that, right? Yeah? You have things with saffron?
Yeah, the rice and all that.
The rice. I don't know what it tastes like even. But it's a very choshev thing.
It's green herb, no?
Red, I thought. No, yeah.
Oh.
Like yellow red?
Yeah, it's like small strips that I think.
But they sell them already crushed, no?
Mm-hmm.
So it's very strong. Is it very strong?
Yeah, I mean, you don't need too much of it.
The Gemara talks a lot about it, how chashuv it is. Betilsa milcha, and a third salt. There's another recipe that they say is dropped different. Of Papa Omar, tilsa chiti, it's a third wheat. Betilsa, according to a third saffron, betilsa milcha, and a third salt. How do you remember that Rav Papa said? You see, every single thing here. This is not like some sort of program here. You know, what do they have on the television? The food shows. This is not like like on Sunday afternoon on WABC we have like a doctor for an hour. This is all Torah. This is Torah Kedosha. You have to remember who said what. How do you remember that Rav Yosef said it's a tilta sari, and Rav Papa said a tilta chiti? The siman is sisone. What is sisone? Sisone is it was like a certain type of cup that held dates. So Rav Yosef is sari. Okay, sisone, 2 samachs. The one that has a samach will have the sin. So Rav Yosef said sari. Rav Papa doesn't have a samach. He said chiti. You should drink it between Pesach and Shavuos. That's the only time it's effective for the gallbladder. The comet merapile. If a person is constipated, it loosens. Diffi cometly. And if you're too loose, it helps you bind it. Now, before we said that it was really for the gallbladder. I'm not sure. So the Gemara is like this: the kois ikarin. You can't drink the kois ikarin that had these roots, and the side effect was that a person may become sterile. My kois ikarin, what is it? Rabbi Yochanan. This is what it is. You're not allowed to do this on Shabbat. You can't drink this, but the rest of the week. And it said it's for jaundice. Don't forget, the Mishnah said it's for the ureka. Okay, so how do you do this? Leisei maskels is a kuma Alexandria. Bring from Alexandria maskal, the weight of a zuzah kuma, a zuz of kuma of gum. Gum is the stuff that comes from the trees, the sap. Umaskal zuzah, and another weight of a zuz of gavya gila, of alum. Umaskal zuzah kurkuma rishka, and another zuz weight of kurkuma rishka, garden saffron. Grind them together, then you put that into the water and then you drink it. Lizava, to heal a zava. Okay, a zava is a lady who's having her flow, her period, but she's not having it at normal time. It's not her period. It's out of sync. Okay. Today we're worried that every lady is a zava because we don't know how to cheshbon it correctly. Even though most of them are having it at the right time, but since we don't know, we have to be chayish on everything like it's a zava. And that's why we need Shiva Nikiyim today, not just Shiva days, but they have to be Nikiyim. Tzulosta b'chamra v'loy me'akra. If she should take these three ingredients that we just said and mix them with wine, and she won't become sterile. Liyerakoina, for jaundice, Tureim b'shikra. Only take two of these ingredients, mixed with beer, ume'aker, and then the person will become sterile. Okay? Some say that it means 2 out of the 3 ingredients, some say it means 2 cups out of 3 cups. Lizava tlosta b'chana v'loi me'akra. So the Gemara says, to heal a zava, you take all 3 ingredients, mix it with wine, and she won't become sterile. The Eloi, if it doesn't work, laisi tlosta kfizi shamki pasoi. She should bring 3 kfizi. Rashi says kfizi is kli machze gimel lugin. Something that holds gimel lugin. That's 18 eggs. Okay, a cup that, and it should be filled with Persian onions. Shamki, Rashi says, is bitzalim. Onions from Parsi, Persian onions. Nishlok b'cham, boil them in wine. V'nashkia, give it to her to drink. V'neimal, and tell her, kum mizayvich. Stop from your flow. Stop your flow. V'loi, if it doesn't work, loisva prashas drachim, put her by the crossroads. Sit her there. V'linka to kasa decham v'yodin, she have her hold a cup of wine in her hand. V'leisein shi me'achayro, someone should come up from behind her. V'livaso, and frighten her. V'leimelo, kum mizayvich. Stop the ziva coming. V'iloi, leisi buna dechamoyno. Bring a fistful of cumin. Ubuna de marika, and a fistful of saffron. Ubuna de shavli lost, and a fistful of fenugreek. The nishlik bechamra, mix it in, boil them in wine. V'nashki, give it to her to drink. V'neimelo, and tell her, kumi zayvich. V'iloi, leise shit and shia dedon. If it doesn't work, you should bring, not if it doesn't work, if you don't have that, or another remedy, or if it doesn't, you should bring 60 seals of a barrel, clay seals. V'lishpia, smear them on her. V'leimelo, and tell her, kumi zayvich. Okay, after you soak them in water, and the clay softened, smear it on her. The Eloi leise pashtina. Bring pashtina. Pashtina is an herb that spreads on the ground; it doesn't grow upwards. The lishlik bechamra, boil it in wine. The lishvia, smear it on her. The name of la kumi zayvich. V'iloi leisi charnusa de hiksa roi misa. Bring charnuga of a roi misa bush. It's an herb that grows near these thorn bushes. Okay. Velikli burn it. Velisma b'shachbe dechitona b'kaita. Take the ashes in linen rags in the summer, uveshachke da'amar gufna b'sitva, or in cotton rags in the winter. Then, it sounds like she should wear them. Ve'iloi, if not, lichli sheva biri, dig 7 holes, velikli b'hu shabishta yalda da'urla. Burn a branch of an urla is the first 3 years, a branch of an urla vine in each one of these holes. The linkete kosa de chamra bida, let her hold a cup of wine in her hand. The loikmemiha, stand her up in one hole, the loisvaha, and sit her over the other. The loikmemiha, then stand her up from that hole, the loisvaha, and sit her over the other. Each time, if not, lacy smida, bring fine flour, smear it over the lower half of her body, and tell her, kum mizayvich. V'loy lacy baisa de namisa, bring an ostrich egg, likely burn it, the list of b'shach de chiton b'kaita. Take the ashes of the ostrich egg that was burnt, put it over linen rags in the summer, v'shachvi the amar gufta b'sitva, or in cotton rags in the winter, and seemingly she should wear it. V'iloi, liftach lachavita dechem l'shma, open up a barrel of wine for her sake. Meaning, she should say, take this barrel and keep drinking from it. V'iloi, link it to the mishtachas b'chfusta dechud chivara. Take a barley grain that was found in the dung of a white mule, inokto chad yoima. If she's able to hold it in her hand for 1 day, paska, trei yomi, then she'll stop flowing for 2 days. Inokto trei yoima, paska tlos yomi, it will stop for 3 days. Inokto tlos yomi, if she holds it in her hand for 3 days, paska la'olam, it will stop forever. The Gemara says, now, I have 1 more minute. We said that for yerekoina, for jaundice, it should have 2 of the 3 ingredients. Either the sap from Alexandria, the alum, or the saffron, 2 out of those 3. Mixed it with beer, and it'll make him sterile. The Eloi, if he doesn't have that, laisi resha, the shibuta de milcha, take the head of a salted shivuta, which is a fish, the lishlik b'shichra, specific fish, boil it in beer, velishti, and drink it. The Eloi laisi munini de kanti, bring the juice of locusts. The leka munini de kanti, if you don't have it, laisi munini de nikri, bring juice of nikiri. What are nikiri? A small type of bird. Vila aila levevoni, take the patient into a bathhouse, velishviye, smear the juices on him. Vileka beiboni, if there's no bathhouse, lukmi beitanur leguda, stand in between an oven and a wall, because it'll be so hot in that area, he'll sweat and smear the juices there. Omer Rabbi Yochanan, haroita, everything will leave him. Haroita shechavamenu yikanchenu b'stedino. One who wants to warm the patient should wrap him well in his sheet. Okay. Okay, so we'll stop over here. Zaka Baruch.